Hi Dad, here's a little impromptu in the city video for you. So I got home this afternoon and I decided I wanted to clean up my rolling composters, harvest the compost from them. So I'll turn my camera around and show you what I'm doing. So there's my rolling composter laid out on its side. What I was doing is I put down this heavy sheet of heavy plastic and I opened one side. You can see the door laying on the ground over there, and then I would just roll it until the stuff fell out of it. I'm at the very bottom now, so I had to go in with my shovel and a stick and dig at the stuff that was in the bottom. It was pretty wet and gooey. So what I'm doing is taking my sifter and sifting it out into that, and then the finished compost I'm dumping in this bucket. I've got quite a lot already. That looks like maybe a foot and a half in this bucket. And this is what is going to go back into the composter when I'm done. This is the stuff that's not finished composting. And this is only, where's the door? This is only half the composter. I always have a working half and an adding half. So what I really wanted to show you that I thought was kind of neat is this little guy who's climbing out of the unfinished compost. I don't often see snails in the garden, but there we go. This guy's kind of cool. I'd like to put him somewhere where the blue jays can find him. Maybe at the top of this trellis. I'll probably have to wait until after I'm done, and then I'll use one of my milk cartons to stand on. Actually, I can stand on this milk carton right now. Take my little snail friend. I'll put him up right on the edge. I'm sure that some people would think that'd be nasty, and other people would say, oh, feeding the blue jays. So I guess the rest of the world can have their comments. Anyway, that's what I'm doing. Taking the finished compost out of one side of that, rolling it around until it dumps onto this, sifting it out, taking the finished compost, and I'm just going to put it in there until I use it. And this is the unfinished compost, which will go back into there. That's it for now. Ciao. Okay, for some strange reason, I'm not quite sure why, I decided to do the other side, but I'm regretting it because it's very wet. It doesn't seem to be very broken down. But this is kind of interesting. When I had all those tomatoes that I processed for tomato sauce, I used a mill to get all the seeds and skins out, and that's what this is. That was like a month ago, but all the seeds have germinated in the compost, and they're all clumped up with the skins that came off of them. All kinds of germinated tomato seeds in here for these lovely Roma tomatoes that I was using. This is too wet. I know it's been a dry summer, but I was adding water to try to help it break down because it was too dry. Guess I let it go too far the other way. I'm tempted to leave this out overnight so it could dry, but considering like the number of worms that I have in here, I have a feeling that I would get like raccoons and rats and all the things, all the little diggy animals coming and trying to get their midnight suppers. So I probably will have to process this even though it's too wet. It's also been a lesson in finding out what has got plastic lining and what doesn't. This is, I don't know, this was a little box of something. Oh, I see what it is. This is actually Dove soap. So sometimes I'll put box board in my compost if I'm too lazy to whatever. But I guess I'm going to think twice about that now since I see so much of it is plastic lined, something like the Tim Hortons cups. My cat's out too, knocking stuff down, terrorizing my backyard. Anyway, yeah, the more I compost, the pickier I become about what goes in it. All right, wish me luck on getting this stuff done. Won't be fun. Ciao.